So, you want good movement, huh? Well, you've come to the right place because I'm gonna explain to you everything you'll need to know about movement in this one video. Here's what we're going to learn, and without further ado, let's begin. Alright, so first off, let's quickly explain the most basic of movement mechanics, that being the counter strafe, or just strafe. If you watch any experienced player play, you will notice that when they fight, they tend to use the strafe keys of A and D moving side to side. So, when you're looking to fight people, make sure you're making use of your A and D keys to move side to side, making it harder for the enemies to hit you. Ideally, when counter strafing, you should be shooting around 3 to 4 bullets and then counter strafing to reset the spray. An easy way to implement counter strafing, if you aren't already, is to simply shoot your 3 to 4 round bursts and just move left or right and then let go of your keyboard. Since you don't keep your momentum when running in Valorant, the second you let go of your keyboard, your character will come to a complete stop, meaning there's no need to actually counter strafe in Valorant. Alright, now that we've scratched the surface on the proper ways to fight in Valorant, let's dive a little bit deeper and go into how to do proper swings. Oftentimes in low elo and even up to ascendant, when people swing, they will do it while walking. This is called a slow peek, and it's really bad since your shoulder will pop out before your head does, and you'll also just be a really slow target in general, giving your opponent the ample time they need to react to you. Just imagine old Grandma Tildy with her walker swinging out the corner, and then imagine Rambo running Mach 11 around the corner. Which one's going to be easier to shoot? You're goddamn right, you'd never have the heart to shoot Grandma Tildy. So, when you swing and peek around corners, make sure that you're running and don't hold down the walk key. Now, you might be saying, what if I want to be quiet? I'll make noise then if I run. Well, my little compadre, no you won't, and all you have to do is know how to abuse this one little trick. So, it turns out that in Valorant, that if you only take a couple steps, you will remain silent even while running. So knowing this, you can actually run the peek and swing without making any sounds as long as you take 3 to 4 steps. This allows you to stay quiet and be able to do a fast swing. Alright, now that we've talked about how to properly swing, let's dive even deeper and talk about how to do a proper swing. So, once again, there is another prevalent issue in lower ranks that we must fix, and that is holding W while swinging. If you guys have taken grade 8 math, I'm sure that you know that the fastest way to get to your destination is a straight line. The same applies to Valorant. When you hold W when swinging somebody, not only does it make you appear slower to the enemy since you're swinging in a circle, it also causes you to overexpose yourself to too many angles since you'll swing further than you want. This movement tip is just like crosshair placement, and there's not really a trick to it except to just remember to only use your A and D keys when swinging. It's something that you'll get with time. Alright, so that's it for how to fight, guys. So let's get on how to do the basic Jiggle Peak now. The Jiggle Peak is simply just doing a quick peek where you jiggle around the corner to gather information on an opponent. This peek is extremely useful since it gathers info on where the enemies are while minimizing the risk of you dying. To do this peek, you simply just have to peek and then unpeek as soon as you see the angle you wanted to have sight on. Make sure not to peek any further than that as you'll swing out too far and the enemies will kill you. The main situations where you want to use this peek is when you don't know where the enemies are, such as at the start of the round or when you have the numbers advantage and you're just trying to stay alive while being useful. Once again, now that we talked about the Jiggle Peak, let's dive even deeper and go over the Jump Peak. The Jump Peak is essentially a Jiggle Peak while jumping. The pros of the Jump Peak are that it's much safer, but the cons are that you can't shoot while doing it, so no jiggle one taps for you. This option is much more favored in situations where you're looking to not die and only gather info rather than situations where you're trying to get a possible pick while getting information. Before we go over how to do the Jump Peak, let's learn how to air strafe or b-hop. To do an air strafe, all you need to do is jump and move diagonally in the same direction you are turning. So, if I am trying to air strafe to the right, I would jump and press the right movement key while simultaneously turning to the right, and vice versa for the left side. If combined and done properly, you'll be able to do what is called a b-hop, which is used to make yourself harder to hit when moving around. You can also b-hop sideways and backwards, but we're more focused on the air strafe component here. So, to do a jump peek, you simply just have to jump and swing out, and then while you're in midair, air strafe backwards in the opposite direction of your jump. If done properly, you'll have just peeked around the corner for a slight second, allowing you to get info and not allowing enemies to react to your peek. Now, that was a bit fast, so let's slow it down. If I am peeking to the right, I'm gonna want to jump out to the right and then input S and A while turning to the right, since that's how I would air strafe backwards and to the left. The same would apply if I was trying to jump peek to the left, except I would use the S and D key instead of the S and A key while looking to the left. Alright everyone, that's it for me on this movement guide. I apologize for the smacking in this video. I ate something today that's got my mouth a little messed up. But anyways, I hope this video helps and adios everyone.